Okay, welcome back to another edition of our daily learning of Pirkei Avot, of life lessons that have been passed down from our sages for generations. Today, we are continuing the conversation of Yoshua ben Parachia, laying out three ways to make our lives better and have good influences around us, namely having a teacher, having a friend, and seeing positive in others. Now we're going to see the flip side of that coin. We're going to see his partner, Ravnita Harbeli, and he's going to go through what it takes to what you should be staying away from, creating the not creating positive relationships but keeping negative influences out of your life. So here it goes. It's a Nita Arbeli Omer. That you should keep a distance from an evil neighbor, and you should not become attached to a wicked person, that you should not abandon faith in retribution. So we're going to break down these 3 points. We work a lot in threes here. So 3 points. The first one is distancing yourself from an evil neighbor. So what is this all about? We need to think about what a neighbor is, what purpose they serve. It's somebody that is constantly around you. You're not necessarily talking about somebody who you're particularly close with, but they're on your street, they're who you sit next to on your commute to work, and they're just always around you. And the Rambam, the Maimonides, tells us that we are so influenced by the people who are near us that we have to be even intentional about where we live, right? The people that live in our community, that live in our town, are also a reflection on us and who we associate with. So he goes as far to say that if you can't even find a place that is full of positive people, or on the flip side, you're finding a place that is so full that you're only finding places that is so full of corruption and immoral people, you have to go live alone. You even need to isolate yourself so as not to be influenced by those people. Okay, so that's part one, that you should stay away from neighbors, that they have this influence on you, even if you're not realizing. The second part is al titchaber l'rasha, that you should keep your distance from the wicked. So this is a little bit more self-explanatory. We don't want to, obviously, nobody wants to associate themselves with the wicked, but you have to think in a context of maybe somebody you work with, or a business opportunity comes up and you have the opportunity to make so much money, but that person might not be so moral. That person might not hold to the appropriate level of values that we hold so dear. So that's somebody that you want to keep a distance from, and you might be able to justify the opportunity to do business with that person, to have them in your inner circle for the sake of moving your agenda forward. But that's why Rav Nita Arbeli is putting this out. He's saying you're going to have these opportunities to stumble. You're going to have the ability to be close to these people because they might be able to help you. But in truth, they're not going to help you. That's how wicked people operate. So much so, the Gemara in Sanhedrin, the Talmud says that a group of these wicked people who go together, they're not even considered a group because they don't have a bond that's positive, right? Think about, would you ever think a group of thieves could ever work together? In the end of the day, they're already immoral. They're probably going to backstab each other anyways, right? So we want to avoid that as much as possible. And lastly, that you shouldn't give up faith in retribution. So oftentimes we see that wicked people are prospering, or that good people are having a very difficult life. So it's hard for us to reconcile this, that the world runs in a value-oriented way, and that the world is running in a moral way, right? Why should a wicked person prosper while a good person, while it's tzaddik, while a righteous person is falling on hard times, right? So the Rav Nita Arbeli is putting out there for us to remember that as much as you're gonna see these things in life, you need to pay attention to the entire timeline. You need to pay attention to the good people who kept going even though times were hard, and how it really paid off, and how even if you see wicked people who are prospering, it's really God that has the last say. So you shouldn't give up on yourself, on God, on your relationship, on your mitzvot, on your Torah observance, on all these things because you see some things that seem unjust. In truth, it all works out. You shouldn't give up on it. Those are 3 methodologies how to maintain goodness in your life, staying away from the wrong people. And we will continue learning tomorrow.